Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Janaraja Yashodanandana Braja Janaraja Acharya Stotra Shata Shri Srimad Bhaicharan Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Shla Prabhupada ki Shri Guru Parampara ki Antara Srimad Bhagavad Gita Takaka Asides ki Gaura Premananda. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naranam Namaskrityam Naranchava Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tata Jodhiraid Nashtaparay Shobodrishu Nityam Bhagavata Seva Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhatina Ishtiki. We will read from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, text 36 till 46. Sanskrit and translation together. Sukham tvadidanim trividham shrinu me bharatarshava abhyasad ramate yatra dukhantam cha niganchati yattat agre visham iva parimane mritopamam
Tatsukam satikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam.
O best of Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness which the conditioned soul enjoy, and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress. That which is in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, which awakes one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. Vishayendriya samyogat yat tat agre mritopamam pariname vishamiva tatsukam rajasam smritam. That happiness which is derived from contact of senses with the object and which appears like nectar at first, but poison at the end, it is said to be on the nature of passion. Yat agre chanubandhecha sukham mohanam atmana nidralasya pramodhartam tattamasam udaritam. And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is the illusion from beginning to the end, and which arise from sleep, laziness, and illusion, it is said to be nature of ignorance. Natat asti prithyam
Divideveshu vapuna
sattva prakriti
dharmuktam yadevi sattibhir gunai.
There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary system which is freed from the three modes of material nature. Brahma Kshatriya Vishwan Shudranam cha Parantapa Karmani Pravibhaktyani Svabhava Prabhavaya Gunai. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras are distinguished by their qualities of work, O chaste of enemy, in accordance with the mode of nature. Shamodamah, Tapah
Shaucham Shantir Arjavamevacha Jnana Vijnanam Astikyam Brahma Karma Svabhavajam.
Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and religiousness, these are the qualities which the Brahmanas were.
Shaurjam Tejo Dhriti Daksham Yudhe Chapya Palayanam Dhanam Ishvara Bhavascha Kshatram karma svabhavajam.
Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the qualities of work for the Kshatriyas. Kshi Gorakshya Vanijam Vaishya Karma Svabhavajam Paricyaratmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Svabhavajam. Farming, co-protection, and business are the qualities of work for the Vaishyas, and for the Shudras there is labor and service to others. Svesve karmani abhiratak svam siddhim labate naraha svakarma niratak siddhim yatha vidanti tachrinu. By following these qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. Yatah pravritir bhutanam yena sarvam idantatam svakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vidanti manavaha. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, man can, in the performance of his own duty, attain perfection. Back to 36. O best of Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness which the conditioned soul enjoys and by which he sometimes comes the end of all distress. That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The conditional soul tries to enjoy material happiness again and again. Thus he chose the chariot. But sometimes, in the course of such enjoyment, he becomes relieved from material entanglement by association with the great soul. In other words, a conditioned soul is always engaged in some type of self-gratification. But when he understands by good association that it is only a repetition of the same thing, and he is awakened to his real Krishna consciousness, he is sometimes relieved from such repetitive so-called happiness. In the pursuit of self-realization, one has to follow many rules and regulations to control the mind and the senses, and to concentrate the mind on the self. All these procedures are very difficult, bitter, like poison. But if one is successful in following the regulation and comes to the transcendental position, he begins to drink real nectar and he enjoys life. Manyanatitinandasya jnananjala shalakaya chakshurumritam hena tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishta Bhutala Shrimate Dhananda Swami Namo Vishnu Padaya Bhutala Shrimate Bhakti. Guru Maharaj, would you like to say something? So, this is very nice part of Bhagavad Gita which clarify the things, what is the happiness in the mode of goodness, patience and ignorance, and also what are the works of the different varnas of the society. So we can, everybody from us can have experience about these things. Like this, the happiness in mode of goodness. That which is in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end it's just like nectar, and which awakeness one to self-realization is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. Everyone of us who's trying to be on the path of self-realization know that some things we maybe doesn't like in the beginning or even all the time for now, but they is try to follow them. Like we should wake early in the morning and take bath, and we can feel it like it's trouble, so for what I should do this thing. But this is the mode of goodness, and on the beginning it's like that we don't feel like that we should do it, but when we practice in some time we just start to feel the nectar from the activity. Even we can feel from the beginning that we doesn't want, but when we do it, then we just can realize the nectar that our day can be like really better. We can be more concentrated, and things through the life, through the day are going better, So in this way we can realize that this activity actually help us even if he doesn't like it. Prabhupada mentioned sometimes in his purport that like in India in the month of January and February is very cold outside, but they have usually this shower or the well outside the house. But still they are going there and they are taking bath. Or the wife should cook even in the summer when it's very hot, but she needs to make the fire in the house and cook there. So it's the mode of goodness is very connected to the fulfilling our duty. What are our duties? So we are trying to fulfill them, and when we give this endeavor, then we can realize and we can actually be happy on the end. But on the beginning, it's like, I don't know. And on the other side, the mode of patience, it's on the beginning like nectar, but on the end it's like poison. So we can see the difference, and we can have experience. Like, for example, we like some food, ice cream. Everybody likes ice cream, and we can say, okay, I take this ice cream, and we are taking more, and just on the end, what happens? Our belly is. But on the beginning, it was like real enjoyment, but on the end, there's frustration. And mode of patience is like 100% finishing in the suffering, 100% all the time. Therefore, but the thing is that mode of patience is like the area in which we are active. So we should use this mode of patience, or if we are like in the mode of patience, and it should be directed by the higher intelligence and promoted to the mode of goodness. When the mode of patience is, we are trying to do things only in the mode of patience, so it will always end in ignorance, always. But when the mode of patience is controlled by the mode of goodness, so it, or by higher knowledge, so it can come to the mode of goodness. We start to be elevated because we are active in when somebody is patient. We always want something to do, but in mode of patience, we just doesn't know what to do. We just need to do something, and we are very enthusiastic. But many times we do mistakes. But when we are controlled by the higher intelligence, then this mode of goodness, mode of patience can help us. We can elevate it to mode of goodness, and from mode of goodness we actually can understand the spiritual things. In mode of passion we are not able. We are not able. We are thinking that we are able, but we are not able. Only from the mode of goodness we can then elevate consciousness to transcendental consciousness. And what to say about this mode of ignorance? It's from the beginning, like it's, and the happiness which is blind of self-realization, which is delusion from the beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be nature of ignorance. So it's like that. When we do something like from in ignorance, so the result will be just bigger ignorance, nothing else. And even, but the thing is that sometimes we are thinking that we are getting some happiness from these ignorant activities. It seems like we get some happiness, but actually it's not happiness, it's just forgetfulness, bigger forgetfulness, like when you drink alcohol, for example. So you can feel that you are happy, but actually if you analyze it, you are happy just because of this, that you forget everything and you are just more open, and then you make some nasty things or whatever. But it's actually you are in grosser ignorance, because when you are like we say in normal consciousness, you will not do such things or you will not say such things, but you forget some things, then you are able to say it, you are like more open or something like this. But this is just bigger ignorance. It's not happiness. Not happiness. It seems like happiness, like that example, like when somebody is in India, they used to do like when they torture someone, so they take him to the middle of the river and they put them under the water, and then when they are a lot of time in the water, they just put them outside of the water, and they again under the water. so the happiness in material world is like that. It's just some relief, of always suffering. So like devotees, we shall go for the higher happiness in the mode of goodness and on the transcendental platform, because that kind of happiness is it's like the transcendental happiness is like ever, it doesn't end, and the happiness in the mode of goodness is like on the long period. It's not only for such short period like in patience, in ignorance. So this is, in this way we shall like focus our intelligence or actions, not to stay in these lower modes of nature, because from this, like I said, from this mode of goodness, we can elevate ourselves to higher platform. But this is the thing, like the Srila Prabhupada in purports write, it is not like that we ourselves can do it, but Srila Prabhupada mentioned in a very nice point that when we are just chew, but sometimes in the course of such encounter he becomes released from material entanglement by association with a great soul. In other words, a conditional soul is always engaged in some type of sense gratification, but when he understands by good association that it is only a repetition of the same thing, and he is awakened to his real Krishna consciousness, he is sometimes relieved from such repetitive so-called happiness. So this is the way how we can actually elevate ourselves, because we even doesn't know what it means, the mode of goodness or transcendental platform. We have no idea about this. But when we come to the association of person who is actually situated on that platform, So we can, by His mercy, we can be elevated. By His instruction, by following His instruction, we can be elevated from this lower state of living, like in ignorance, slowly to patience, to goodness, and then to transcendental platform. But even that, we can see this like in example of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada start this movement in the lowest area of New York with people which are like completely in ignorance, always on drugs. But the beauty of devotional service is that even from just from the full ignorance, we can be engaged in the devotional service, in the transcendental activity. It's something wonderful. Srila Prabhupada give us such wonderful gifts that even we are not on the platform of goodness, we can be engaged in the devotional service. Maybe our devotional service will be not on the highest platform, but in this way we can be purified, and slowly we start to understand that okay, this is ignorance, this is patience, this is goodness. So we start to slowly move from this ignorance to the mode of goodness, and they're starting to do like more real devotional service. So this is the beauty of devotional service, that it doesn't depend on any material condition. Which process involved you have like that? You cannot find any activity or any process which you can perform in any place, anyone, anywhere, at any time. It's amazing. And that means that this is actually spiritual activity. Because all other activities you must, like when you do karma or jnana or yoga, if you want to be perfected in these activities, you need to have good time, good place, and also you shall be qualified. What we have, what kind of chance we have to fulfill all these three things? Sometimes the time is not proper. Sometimes we are not qualified. Sometimes the place where we want to perform. Like try to do meditation these days. It's impossible. People are trying. They are doing these yoga centers, and they try to do some meditation. But what is the use of this meditation when they finish it? And then they go just the next club by this yoga meditation is bar with alcohol, and they are going there to drink some wine. So what was the use of this 10 minutes of meditation? Nothing. Actually, Krishna consciousness change our behavior. It change our not say change. It purify our consciousness from doing things which actually degrade us, and we start to do work or activities which elevate us. And this simple thing can be achieved simply we add Krishna. Because everybody is eating, everybody is sleeping, everybody is protecting his living somehow. So we just need to add Krishna to all these activities, and in this way we can elevate our consciousness. When we want to eat, okay, so we understand this food I offer to Krishna. So I prepare for him and offer him, and the food start to be spiritual. Because In this world, you cannot do anything without you do sinful activity. Even you move like this, and you kill so many bacteria, so it's impossible. But when we do spiritual activity with the intention to please Lord, so and we offer Him the food, so He takes all the bad karma which can be done, and so we are taking karma-free food, and so we stop this ventilator of karma is running, like you have ventilator and you put to the electricity, and Krishna consciousness means you put out from the electricity, but it's still little bit moving, but after some time it stops, and we can be free, from all this entanglement in this material world. And this is the position of Krishna consciousness, and this is our chance to we shall take this chance to elevate ourselves, to come back to this our original consciousness. So it's a wonderful process. You cannot find any mistake on it. You can try, but if you are really sincere, you will not find there any mistake. People are trying to point out, this is bad, and that is bad. But this is just because of ignorance, because they doesn't try it, actually. But this Krishna consciousness, this devotional service, everybody who engage in this is 100% that he becomes Krishna conscious. 100%. Such wonderful process. Not 99. Everybody who takes the process as it is have 100% success. And we can see it on persons which actually take the Krishna consciousness. How they elevate their consciousness, how their life change actually they now are better in all aspects of their life. In every part of their life they are better. So, but then somebody can say, but we see that some person leave the Krishna consciousness. But this is not actually, they just not leaving. People are not leaving, they are just taking a break. they doesn't want to go so deep, So Krishna give them a space. Okay, you can try something more of this material enjoyment. But actually nobody can be outside of Krishna consciousness. Everybody is inside the Krishna consciousness. But we just try to think that I want to forget on Krishna. It's not possible. Everybody is thinking always on Krishna, but indirectly or not knowingly. But the process of Krishna consciousness it is in this name, Krishna consciousness. So we shall be conscious what we are doing, why we are doing, and in this way, by the positive method, we can just be happy, even in material world. That is said that in material world there are just two living beings can be happy. You know which? Yes. Yeah. Crazy people and Krishna conscious people. But crazy people it is not like real happiness. They are just living in some imagination world, they doesn't actually really understand what is happening around them. So the only person which can be like really happy in this material world is just devotee of the Lord. And the happiness is coming from the understanding that he see everything with connection with the Lord. So we have some work before us to come to this consciousness. And what this next verse is saying, there are these occupational duties of Varna, like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. What are the activity? Like in the Vedic scriptures, we find this term Varnashram. It means that there are 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas. And 4 Ashramas are Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. Brahmachari means student in celibacy. Grihastha means like householder, which have wife, and all this paraphernalia around children and house. And Vanaprastha means it is the stage after Grihastha ashram. So it means it's give up all these social rules. And he go more to the retirement from his duties like Grihastha and go more deep in the knowledge like this. And then sannyas is the highest of the spiritual stages. It's just giving the knowledge to others, and is the stage of full renunciation of everything material. So, and then there are 4 stages in Varnas. This is usually very, very clear to people. Okay, he's brahmachari, he's vanaprastha, he's sannyasis. Usually nobody make some problem with this. But then there are the varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. And they're like Brahmanas, they're like the most intelligent. Kshatriyas are the Brahmanas are like the intelligent class of the people, which are like doctors, or some teachers and like this. Then Kshatriyas, Brahmanas are like the head of the society. Kshatriyas are like the legs, like the administrators, like the kings, and like this, taking care about others. And they are taking care that others fulfilling their duties. And then Vaishyas, they are this productive class of society, which are like co-protection, they protect cow, agriculture, business, like this. And then the Shudras, they are the worker class of society. They cannot live like independent. They can only work under somebody else, and they are happy. They cannot do on his own. So, but the thing is that everybody is thinking that he is a Brahmana, or the world like to be a Brahmana. But we can find it just for 10-second test. If he actually, because like the Varna, it means that he is getting his livelihood from that activity. So we can ask if somebody is claiming that he is Brahmana, you are a doctor, or you are the teacher, or you are some kind of that, you are in such kind of position. No? Okay, maybe you are not Brahmana. So you are then Kshatriya, you are some administrator, you are some like king, or some some manager or something. You taking care about some other people, which they should do their duties properly. No? Okay. So maybe you are Vaishya. So you are doing some business, or you are protecting the cows, or you are doing some agriculture. No? So maybe you are Shudra. You are just going to the work, and you take some salary from someone. So we can very clearly see where we are. And it's no harm to be Shudra or Vaishya or Kshatriya or Brahmana. It's not so important. But important is if we are actually devotees of the Lord. Because in the devotional service we can be Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra, and we can be pure devotees of the Lord. We just making some work which is for us natural, and we should understand this, and we should not try to be like Brahmanas when we are just Vaishyas, or to be Kshatriyas and we are just by the nature Shudras. We shall understand, okay, I'm good in this, and I will be happy in this. It's like that. It's no use to trying to be Brahmana when actually I like to just help to others. And actually Shudra is the best position for us. It's for spiritual elevation is very good because you are just a helper. You always understand that you are just helping somebody. And this is like our nature, that we are the servants. So you can be like very happy Shudra and be pure devotee of the Lord. But of course, in society, there are also needed all these others. And it's like majority of people are like Shudras. Then some of them are Vaishyas. And even less they are Kshatriyas. And even less they are Brahmanas. So, yes, Guru Maharaj.
You can tell that in Krishna consciousness, it's not based on birthright. Those who argue that caste system should be condemned because it's based on putting people in a group and they can't move. But the main propounder of Krishna consciousness in this age is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he accepted someone who was born in a Malecha family. He accepted him as the topmost guru for the whole planet, Haridas Thakur. So the whole theory that the Krishna consciousness movement is based on those 4 castes that one can't get out of if he's born into it is completely destroyed by that. So the Krishna conscious movement is the thing that will purify it. The system of Varnashrama is very nice, but when it's not used properly, it becomes terrible. So similarly, but it's not Varnashrama then, it's something else. Similarly, a very good machine can work very nicely when it's properly utilized. But it's utilized for some bad purpose, it becomes terrible.
Yes, thank you for bringing this point. Yeah, this is the actual mercy of this Krishna consciousness movement, that it elevates us from all these bodily conception, because these are all bodily conception, that we are Vaishya, Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Brahmana, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. They are all bodily conception. This moment of Lord Chaitanya giving us this real understanding who we are. We are the soul. We are the servant of the Lord. And this we can understand, like it was written there in the beginning, by the association of good devotee. So, and in this last text, Krishna is saying that by the worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, man can, in the performance of his duty, attain perfection. So Krishna is giving us the answer. He is describing all this goodness, patience, ignorance, all these varnas, and then he said how we can achieve the perfection. So it is no matter where we are, when we just start to worship the Lord, so then we can achieve perfection. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is this verse, Sarvakamo, no? I'll start. Mokshakamo. Yes? Say? Sarvakamo va, Mokshakamo, Udara.
Akama Sarvakama Va, Mokshakama Udaradi, Tavrena Bhakti Yogini Yeta Purusham Param.
Yeah, so then the verse is describing that if we are full of material desires, or we doesn't have any material desire, we shall worship the Lord. We shall be engaged in the worshipping of the Lord. So, and Krishna is saying the same here in Bhagavad Gita. This is the way how we can actually achieve the perfection. By the process, and what is the process of worship in this age? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya brings real process by which we can achieve the perfection even in this life. So maybe you have some questions, some comments. Online someone. Murari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So we should assume every day that it's very easy to slip into passion or ignorance, right? I mean, it's very easy. It's very subtle. Even having a little too much prasadam could be a little bit passion, right? So isn't it very easy aren't we all capable of slipping a little bit into these modes?
Guru Maharaj, would you like to say? Yes, it is like that, but therefore we should chant always Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because why we are going to the lower modes of nature? Because we forget what is our goal and what is doing this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We remember. Okay, this is the goal of life. So if we always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we will not fall in the lower mode of nature. Like Guru Maharaj used to say, if we are morose, what we shall do? Yeah, we shall take kartals and go outside and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because we just suffer when we doesn't chant the holy name. There is not. This is the thing that we just stopping all the time. We are stopping the chanting of the holy name. And of course, all these things in devotional service, which we are all these activities, they are based in such a way, they are in mode of goodness. Like the morning we wake up, then we take a shower, then we awaken the Lord. We chant the glories of the Lord. Then we do meditation ourselves by the chanting of the Lord's name. Then we have second program. Again we glorify the Lord. Then the spiritual master, and then we hear the lecture Srimad Bhagavatam. So when we follow all this program, so the morning we just charge our spiritual battery on 100%. So then we can go like all day, and in the evening, it's slowly is going down, like you said. But in the evening, again, spiritual program at 7 o'clock, Sandhya Arati, we all again glorify the Lord. We again charge the battery for the whole night. So this is the process which is giving us the acharyas. And if it doesn't want to, that the battery is going down, we just do all the day devotional service, like this chanting of 16 rounds minimum. Srila Prabhupada give us this, but what it means, it doesn't mean that we just chant 16 rounds minimum and then we do what we want. It means 16 round minimum when we are 24 hours a day engaged in devotional service. If we are not, we shall chant more. This is the thing. We sometimes forget that we are used to do some other things, and then okay, I finish my rounds, and no, it's not like that. These 16 rounds, and we actually see that when we chant minimum 16 rounds, that we can keep our consciousness somehow or other in Krishna consciousness. It is just the minimum. Actually, when Prabhupada started, he said 64 rounds. But devotees were like, no, Prabhupada, just cannot do this. And then Prabhupada said, okay, so 32 rounds. But devotees were, no, we can't even this do. then said Prabhupada, okay, 16 but minimum and no more. It's like that. It's the mercy of Acharya. So when we sincerely try, so Krishna will help us. Even we are not qualified, even we are not able, but this our sincere desire to please the spiritual master, to fulfill his instruction, to please the Lord, it's make it a reality that we, in one point, we will be able to be pure devotees of the Lord. But we must really want it. It must be sincere desire that sincere desire means that we are that we accept that we do things which we even doesn't like for achieving the goal. And what it means, we read it on the beginning. What is this? Huh? Yes, but what it is, according to what we read today? On the beginning, like poison, but on the end, like nectar. So it is mode of goodness. So it's connected. You know, all the qualities which we read in Bhagavatam, and it's like even we have read here these. We can go through it. What was it? Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and religiousness. These are the qualities by which the Brahmanas work. So this is good mode of goodness. And we are attracted to all these things. We would like be this. So we should elevate our consciousness by the process of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more tool, very I can say most important in our life, is to make a fence around us. And the fence is the association of devotees. Because when we come to the association devotees, they protect us from all this falling down to the lower stages of patience and ignorance. Because devotees they see, Prabhu, this is not good, what are you doing? It will be bad end, don't do this. Because we sometimes, like you say, we fall down, we are going, but it is not like you are in goodness and just in patience and in ignorance. There is some slow process which sometimes we cannot see on ourselves. But when we are in the association of persons which can see, they can tell us, you are going a little bit outside of goodness, Prabhu. So then okay, sorry, I must go back. So it's very, very important. It's like most important for us to be as much as possible in the association of devotees. We should arrange our life that we are only in the association of devotees. Because this is like the rule which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu give, like the most important. to not associate with non-devotees. This is and when we see like the nectar of instruction, we have these things which are favorable for devotional service and which are unfavorable. So one thing in the favorable is that we shall seek the association of elevated devotees. And the next, in the unfavorable thing, that we shall keep up from the association of devotees. So positive or negative, there is the instruction. So it's so important. So I would say, it's came to my mind. Maybe somebody else. Yes, Maktaji?
I was wondering, what about Sankirtan? When you say association of devotees, where does Sankirtan fit into this? Because we're associating with non-devotees when we go out and distribute books. But there has to be some way, or, that we can stay in the association of devotees.
We go out and sell books. We come back with Lakshmi. If you go out and you buy books, one day in books and spend all the money, then that means you're taking their association. If they're buying books, that means they're taking your association. That's good.
Yeah. This is the thing, we are not going to associate with them. Sankirtan devotee doesn't associate with them.
They buy our books, we don't buy their books.
No, we we're just giving them our association. And actually the association means, when you are exchanging, the realization, these are like Rupa Goswami described in Nectar of Instruction, these 6 kind of loving exchanges. And this is taking prasadam and distributing prasadam, revealing mind and asking confidentially, and giving gifts and accepting gifts. So this means like the association. When we are going outside to distribute books, we just giving them Krishna. We don't hear their nonsense what they are speaking there.
You don't come back with, oh look, I got this great book on Darwin today. Show all the devotees. Like a wonderful book on Darwin. I got this book on Big Bang Theory. Really excited to read it. No,
Yeah.
you give out so many books. They're taking your association. And you're taking Krishna's association. And the Vaishnavas. So you don't have to worry, you're protected.
Yes. This is the thing. Sweet. Answer your question. Don't go to associate with them. Give them your association. And sometimes people are used to give us something, such book like Guru Maharaj saying, some dowry theory or something. And I know one devotee which really likes them. And it can be used in devotional service. His name is Agni. When you have at home, some place where you made heat for the house, you can give him like a present for him, and it can be used for heating your home or Krishna's home. He likes to such things to do the service. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Something else? Okay, Srimad Bhagavad Gita is this ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. His Holiness Dhanavir Goswami ki.